Right, buddy, let's get you mic'd up. Look at that, sirens as well.
Well, we got a little bit of everything for this one. Okay.
How are you feeling, Raphael?
I'm good. You know, you don't get to do a TEDx talk every day, do you? So I'm looking forward to this, actually.
So what's your process like when you do a talk? You've done so many talks over the years. What goes through your mind before?
I think it's a mind shift, isn't it? Because I've told my story so many times, but every time I tell my story, there's something new, and I kind of live the moment. You know, if I'm talking about going into segregation, I'm reflecting and remembering my time in segregation. I'm seeing the physical beatings that I suffered, or I'm talking about the elation of being released, you know, at the end of my wrongful time in prison. So all of that kind of comes into play. So I'm not just talking, I'm not just sharing my story, I'm living it when I'm sharing this.
I have to commend you on your outfit choice as well today. 10 out of 10 there. Talk me through your choice of wardrobe.
Do you know what? When I was in prison, it used to be the original attire in prison was blue and white striped shirts. They don't have them anymore. They tend to put prisoners in sort of tracky tops and bottoms. But when I was convicted and imprisoned, it was blue denim jeans, a blue and white striped shirt, which is standard HMP stamped. You know, they're quite expensive, exclusive stuff these days. I remember Reggie Cray signing loads of them for a bunch of guys that I brought into the prison on a charity gig. So, but you know, I mean, this is who I am. This is what I dress like, and a denim shirt works.
What's your focus with the TEDx talk? Obviously, TEDx, a huge platform. Potentially thousands of people are going to see this. What do you really want to achieve from this talk deep down? Listen,
my story is a cobweb of different endings. You know, it could be about resilience, it could be about inspiration, it could be about anything. I've chosen to talk about hope, about, you know, coming out of a dark place and comparing it with lockdown, because we're living through very strange times at the moment, aren't we? And I get a lot of people sort of say, I'm suffering during lockdown, inspire me. And I'm just trying to say to people, listen, it's tough. Lockdown is tough, but don't compare it with prison. Prison is a completely different space. And it's not fair for you to compare yourself, because you are suffering, but not in the way that you would if you were in prison. That's one of my messages. And the other message is hope. You know, that wherever you find yourself, however difficult it is, you know, deep inside, there is something that I would describe as hope. Look for it, find it, and it will get you through.
Tell me about lockdown, because you've had so many speaking inquiries come in, and the range of companies and people that have been hitting you up, you know, what have they been like?
I think people are just looking for a word of inspiration. Now, where do you get the resilience? You know, it's tough. You're asking people to work at home. They can't do the things they're normally used to doing, and you're confining them to their home space. And people are feeling it. It's closing in on them. You know, not only is it closing in on them as an individual, but they've got people around them all the time that they wouldn't normally have around them. And I suppose when people are asking me to talk, they're trying to show their employees or their colleagues or a wider audience that actually, you know, there are some people in the world who have gone through a much difficult time. So appreciate where you are at life and where you can get to, and how you can use this experience, this pandemic and this lockdown, how you can use it to your advantage. And that's part of the message that I'm trying to deliver.
And you know, the last time we were filming, it was 3 months ago, we were filming the material for the release of Notorious. Fast forward 3 months now. Tell us about the book and the expectations and you know, how you're feeling about it.
I wrote the book because lots of people are asking me to tell my story in a book, and I can tell much more in my book than I can when I'm standing up giving people an hour's talk or something. And it was also therapy, you know, releasing a lot of who I am and what I've done that people didn't know, you know, so I'm sharing a lot in my book that I've never shared before. But it's been a success, you know, people have bought my book. People in particular want signed copies of my book, which make me feel special. But you know, look, it's also a book of inspiration. It's trying to say to people, look, I went through such a horrible experience, but I came out the other end and I've led a successful life. In fact, my success has been longer than my time in prison. And I'm trying to say to people, you know, wherever you are in your life at this particular point, there is always light at the end of the tunnel, that kind of thing. And it's led to other things. You know, lots of people have made lots of inquiries off the back of my book, wanting me to do this, that and the other. So it's good actually that my story can inspire other people.
Amazing. All right, what we're going to do now, we're going to need to look right down the barrel of the lens there. I don't know if you want to do any stretches or a little star jumps.
No, my preparation is zoning in and going back to that place that I was at when I went through that experience.
All right, so in 5, we're going to count you down and you're going to introduce yourself and we're going to hit them with it, all right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Imagine you were me.